There we go. How's everybody doing today? This is Sunday. I'm doing great. We're gonna have a great show. We're in good hands today because we
Oh, yeah.
got the one and only Bobby Dizzle in the house. Let's give a little quick intro on Bobby Dizzle. Now, Bobby Dizzle does have a podcast, and
Yep.
you can see that podcast on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. And all those links are in the description. So be sure to subscribe, review. But yeah, so this is Bobby Dizzle is basically this is an introduction to his podcast. So it says follow this cool dad on a caffeinated adventure through the great outdoors, movies and TV, conspiracy and the paranormal, fitness, science, and history, and random tangents. Now, I can personally say Bobby's a great guy. He's a funny guy, and he's just an overall good guy to be around with and great guy to talk to. But yeah, that's Bobby. How you doing, Bobby? And happy birthday, by the way. Happy
Oh,
birthday,
hey, yeah.
Bobby.
I'm 39. I'll be 40 in a year, so let's make this happen so I don't become an old man without a successful podcast.
Okay, great. Yeah,
Also,
well,
I didn't realize my blurb was a run-on sentence like that. I'll have to clean that up. English teachers right now are screaming.
It's good. No, it's good. I usually talk in run-on sentence, so it's good. But yeah, man, I'm 39 too, dude. But I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
man.
right.
I'm like, it's all good, dude. 39. I'm still in my 30s. You know, recently, one of my older followers on Facebook, he posted something, and he said, I wish I could go back to my early 40s and have the mind I have now. And that actually made me feel good. I'm like, wait a minute. So there's people out there that want to be in their early 40s, and I'm not even in my early 40s. So I'm like, baby, life is good. Life is good.
I'm in literal better shape now than I was in my 20s. As far
Yeah.
as being able to run and exercise and things I do physically,
Yeah.
I'm in much better. I'm more muscular now. I weigh about the same, but I have more muscle. When I was in my 20s, I couldn't do anything. I was a smoker, an alcoholic in college,
Yeah.
So right now I'm in better shape than I was now. All
I
right,
gotta
and I
say,
was then.
well, congratulations for that. I gotta say, I was a mess too in my 20s. Not a good time. Let's see. Mr. Catfish is in the house. He says, "Hello, human beings. I'll be listening from afar." All right. Thank you for being here, Mr. Catfish.
Mr. Catfish.
Mr. Catfish. He got that name from his I think his brother gave him that name, and it's a there's a cartoon out there. I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it. Apparently, there's a cartoon out there of a catfish that plays the drums. Does that sound familiar to you at all?
I'm sure I've seen it.
It sounds like Hanna-Barbera. This is something they would do, but
Sounds
I'm
like
not sure.
Sorry, Charlie. Sounds like something he would do.
Who's sorry, Charlie? Who's that?
The tuna fish.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, Charlie.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Charlie.
yeah. The trader? You mean the guy the spokesperson for the tuna fish?
Mhm.
That guy's a trader, man. He's selling. What is he doing? He's selling catfish meat, and he's a catfish. What's up with that? Is he a cannibal? Does he eat it? I don't understand.
He's a capitalist, is what he is.
Well, then he's truly American.
Knows his market. Appreciate the guy.
It is good. It is a good tuna fish. I was going to ask you also. Okay, so first I was going to say I've known Bobby. We met. I have the data here actually. We met November 28th, 2021. Mm-hmm. We did a show on Black Lotus called "Let's Talk About the Bigfoot/UFO Connection," and there was a great guy there who joined us. His name was Jeremy Sanborn. So I have a few questions. Okay. First of all, Bobby, how did you get hooked up with Black Lotus? And then how did you get hooked up with Jeremy?
Oh, actually, Jeremy first. I posted on one of those Bigfoot boards that we all love to hate. And Jeremy's like, I'll be on. And sure enough, he did a video for me. He did a podcast with me. And then Damien, is that his name?
Yes.
Damien Gray with Black Lotus, formerly of Black Lotus. He said, since I knew Jeremy and I've talked to him before, he could have me on to be kind of a mediator.
Okay. Now,
so Jeremy, then Black Lotus.
Gotcha. Now, I'll say right now, Jeremy's got a great, if you want to watch that episode, I believe you have a great episode on it. Mm-hmm. Black Lotus has a good episode on it. I have a playlist on this channel. You could go by and look at my Black Lotus playlist. Once again, the episode is called "Let's Talk About the Bigfoot UFO Connection." You can see Bobby there. But Jeremy tells a really great story where he saw, I don't know what to call it. He saw a gremlin. He saw like a rabbit-eared gremlin or
if you check my YouTube page, I had that clip cut out.
Right.
Where he sees it peeking around. I was like, man, I just want to talk about a 10-second Sasquatch sighting with the dude, and he comes on and talks about a gremlin in his trailer. I'm like, son of a, what is happening? And I slept with the light on that night. No kidding.
I love. Yeah, actually, his telling of that monster, this vivid description inspired me some fiction stories that I'm writing. I mean, I'm just gonna wholesale copy it. I might have to give him some royalties or something because that's a great description of a monster that he describes.
He is
So
such a good storyteller because he's so shy and doesn't want to tell it. So everything
yeah,
is like, and when he gets loose, it starts coming out like a snowball down a hill.
he's like that. He
Yeah.
seems like he's really like bottled up, but then once you get a little crack in the dam, he starts.
Oh, when
Going
the cap comes off, forget about it. It's Jeremy's show. I
and
love him to death.
now, so how did you meet Jeremy? Did you tell? I don't think you said that already. How did you
Oh,
meet
just
Jeremy?
on one of the Bigfoot boards.
Oh, the boards, right?
I asked about it. He's like, sure, I'll do it. And he came on there. Here we were.
Fascinating.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, now let me ask you, where did your interest in the paranormal start? I know you have a lot of interests. I share a lot of them: TV, movies, outdoors, paranormal, fitness. I go walking almost every day. History. Yeah, I mean, I love all these things as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the paranormal, how long has that been going on? What got you interested in that?
I think I've liked that stuff all my life. Just
Mm-hmm.
at TV shows and everything. I was always like, there's got to be something out there because everything. I would always call the real world boring. Like anytime anybody would talk about it, like you remember, you're 39, so you're old.
Yeah.
I only had 3 channels growing up until I was about 16 to about 98. About the time we got internet, it's about the time I got the 4th channel.
Yeah.
It's like a watershed moment in my life. But they would have, you remember the shows that would come on just randomly at 7 p.m. on any night of the week and just be like Close Encounters. It would have all those kind of things. Unsolved Mysteries was a big one. And just any of the alien things on it, I was glued to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what it was. And then the Bigfoot thing, I've always liked it. I got some, the book fair came to town, as they always do back when we were in school. And I used to buy all the scary books, and one of them had Bigfoot in there. And I was interested before that, but it had like 2 or 3 Bigfoot stories in it. And I think that's really where it took off. And can I tell a story related to that particular piece of time?
Absolutely.
You'll enjoy it. Well, me and my mama, after Sunday dinner every Sunday, and we still did it today. They live way up in a holler in undeveloped area, and we would take a walk every Sunday after we ate. And
we heard, Alabama.
Oh yeah, Alabama, North Alabama in the woods, just south of Chattanooga. And we would walk through the woods, and we never thought anything of it. That day we got to hearing something, and it sounded like something walking or running, but it was like a mile away. You could hear it, like it was an ambient sound playing. And I freaked myself out reading that book all week. Taylor Poe, the hitchhiker with the hook on the trunk with the kids, and I'm freaking out talking about Bigfoot. And of course, my mom goes, "What is that? Is that the Bigfoot you're talking about?" And and to this day, I could take you where that was, and me and her will both talk about it. And I bet 100 to 200 deer came in a line no wider than like 20 yards for about 5 minutes, just out of the top of that mountain, running as hard as they could. Imagine not knowing 200 deer were coming out, you hearing that.
Yeah.
Deer came out of these woods for 5 minutes.
Incredible.
And that kind of segment, it's a stupid story. I know it's just a bunch of deer getting spooked. I don't know where they came from, but it was like they were running from something, and that freaked out, and hear that kind of sound for 5 minutes till they saw it. It almost cemented it in my brain. It was one of my favorite subjects since then.
No, that's great, dude. That's very special. That's one of the reasons why I like going in the woods, because you're going to see things, and hear things, and think things. You're going to think things that you never think. Well, how else are you going to see 200 deer running in fear?
Yeah, why were they running in a circle like that? I've asked about it. I'm like, what happened? What was chasing? I'm 11 years old. Like, what in the world is spooking all these deer?
Wow, what a sight! What a sight!
Oh, it was insane.
Thank you for sharing that. Let's catch up on some comments if you don't mind. Let's see. So Mr. Catfish, he says my brother gave me the nickname. It's only a sound, and then he says a sound among others.
Is it like the sound catfish make when you catch them?
Maybe. Let's ask him to clarify. Hey, Angel Wings, thank you for being here. I remember Angel Wings. I remember seeing you on another one of my shows. Thank you for being here. Angel Wings says, Bobby.
What's up?
Bobby. Hey. John B. Adventure Superfan is here. Have a great show out. Thank you, John. Thank you for being here. And he wishes you a great show, too. Then we got Mr. Catfish says, yes, Angel Wings. Whoops. Sorry. Angel wings were given to the crafts because they couldn't understand how they stayed in the air. Oh, interesting. Okay. I think he's referring to maybe like angel stories,
Yeah, like UFOs, how they always show them with wings, like a big ball with wings.
Exactly. They were floating above the villages. Yep, I got orbs all around all the time. Okay, Angel, tell us about the orbs. Are those orbs? Do you see them with your naked eye? Do you have to use a special camera? Are they different colors? I'm super fascinated by orbs. I need to do an orb research project. And then Mr. Catfish says they floated across the lands. They floated. And he says, there you go. Okay, very cool, guys. Yeah, so for sure, guys, comment all you want. We will periodically take breaks and we will address all the comments. Some of the best ideas come from the best comments, and we got the best watchers on this show. I got to say. Okay, so caught up with Bobby, so I think we're gonna let's start the show. So this year has been pretty good for alien movies. I think. I mean, we got Nope, which I'm wearing my Nope shirt, came out a few weeks ago, and now we have Prey, which just came out a few days ago on Friday. And I think they're both pretty good movies. You want to do a little mini Nope review? I know you finally saw it. What do you think? What are your thoughts? What do you like? What do you don't like about Nope?
Oh, what I like about Nope?
And what don't you like about Nope as well?
I'll start with what I didn't like about it. There are a couple of plot lines that kind of petered out and or I didn't get. One is, were we supposed to hate Jupiter and find him arrogant for trying to wrangle in the what is his name? Jean Jacket? Trying to wrangle in Jean Jacket like he did the monkey. I missed that part. I watched it and I said, I don't know what we were supposed to feel about Jupiter. I mean, I know I liked him as a character. I thought he was hilarious.
He's my favorite character in the movie. Was Jupiter?
Glenn from Walking Dead. I mean, he wins every time in my book.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, if anybody's just watching, we're talking about a movie that came out this year called Nope, directed by Jordan Peele. It is about UFOs, and that's why we're talking about it. It's an extraterrestrial movie. Okay, so well, let me address that before you talk. Now, I got to say, Nope. A lot of people are having like mixed opinions on it, and I got to say that is a fault of the movie. I mean, I liked it, I understood it, but if a lot of people are having problems, then you did something wrong. So this is how I saw Jupiter, basically Jupe. I think he's kind of like, to me, he seemed kind of like a victim, like an abuse victim, that perpetuates the cycle. Because to me, when he was a child, I think that was child abuse. He was on that show with Gordy. And it's obviously a dangerous situation. So he was put in danger. He didn't know any better. And I think so. He was a victim of abuse. I mean, even though Gordy didn't hurt him, I think he just learned all the wrong lessons. He learned about exploiting animals for money and for entertainment. And so then he went ahead and did the same thing with Jean Jacket and ended up very badly. So I think he's kind of a villain, a sympathetic villain. He's kind of mixed in that way. Those are just my thoughts.
I think that you're probably correct there. I missed out. I missed the point on following down that Gordy rabbit hole with the movie because I was over here at we're going to lose the ranch. I kind of bit on that a lot. And that's the other plot hole. The Jupe, we don't know who Jupe is, and we're going to lose the ranch are the two plot holes that I didn't like, or the two subplots that never paid off. Okay. I followed the we're going to lose the ranch thing, and they kind of just use. I find out later they're using it to explain why they're selling the horses, and it was really a storyline that just ended. And I think I followed that too deep and didn't pay attention to the other one after that. Didn't pay attention to why we hated Jupiter because of the losing the ranch show. Subplot.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I thought the losing the ranch I thought was a pretty good motivation. It was a good reason why you want to stay in the area. Well, first of all, the ranch is like you can't just abandon the ranch because you got all these horses there, and horses need to be fed and they need to be watered, they need to be walked. So you can't just leave them all there, and I don't think you could take them all away as well because they only had like a trailer with one horse at a time. But yeah, they were losing. It's funny because in the beginning they were doing really well. The father figure was there, and he was like, "Hey, we're doing well. Business is going up." But it's pretty obvious that he had all the right qualities to keep that business running. He was good with the horses, but he was also a good salesperson. Mm-hmm. And then my friend pointed out that the children, Emerald and OJ, they both kind of have half of his qualities. So OJ's a hard worker, like his dad was. He knows the horses, but he's not a good salesman. But Emerald, his sister, is a good salesman. And she's good at talking to people, but she's not good with the hard work of the horses.
Oh yeah, she's the voice.
Yeah, and it looked like she was kind of lazy. I don't know. She was kind of like missing in action, So, But yeah, so any other complaints you got about that?
That was it. That's all I had for
Okay.
the movie. I got lost in those two. At the end of it, I was like, I don't know how I feel about Jupiter, but those two subplots, the losing the ranch, I felt was going to be a bigger deal than it was, and it just he said that, and it's the last you heard about it.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, I felt like they wanted to get the picture to make money, and at the end they did get the picture, with the little well thing. So, but you're right, they did kind of drop it. I guess the implication is they're going to go ahead and sell those pictures, and get some publicity or some money. But they didn't show that payoff. That's true. But overall, I like the gore. The mood was really good. I mean, if I imagine a UFO movie, what I want to see, it had all those things. It had the night sky, people getting sucked up, all that stuff. So,
and you saw the alien. I don't like the ones where you don't see it.
Yeah,
I always wanted to see Godzilla. I always wanted to see whatever the monster was. Don't give me a mystery and show me a hand, and that'd be it.
Absolutely.
And it rained blood, so that's top 3 movie things you need.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Let's catch up on some comments here. Let's see. Okay, so then John P. Adventure says Wreaking Havoc 215. I wonder if he's in the room. And then Angel Wing says the orbs we see. Okay, so Angel Wing says the orbs we see are so small because of our magnetic field. It's so dense in this dimension. It makes them small into a ball. The real entity is a lot bigger outside of this dimension. Very interesting ideas here. Okay. Well, what I got to say first is that, when you're talking about density and about how things are small and round, the submarines that we send into the deepest part of the ocean, you know what shape they are? They're a sphere, because the sphere is a shape that could withstand the most pressure. And that kind of goes with what you're saying. But she's basically saying that these orbs represent some kind of form of life, and that they perhaps are not from here, but they're under a lot of pressure from another dimension, and there's a lot of magnetic pressure, and so they're really a lot bigger. Those are pretty interesting ideas. I hadn't heard of those before. Mr. Catfish replies to Angel Wings. The Grace told me they reside within the light. Interesting. Very interesting. So I agree with you, Angel Wings. Okay. Then Mr. Catfish. Mr. Catfish says, I am an owl. I want to be. Angel Wing says, not all grays, I'm sure. Be right back, guys. Okay, Mr. Catfish.
We have to wait on Catfish now.
Mr. Catfish says, 5-foot light chalky grays are my family. They are capable up to 6 dimensions. Pure mathematics. Interesting.
I heard there was up to 27 dimensions.
Oh, interesting.
Don't know where I heard that. Could be making it up.
That sounds possible. Oh, then John P. Adventures is clarifying about, Wreaking Havoc. Yeah, so Wreaking Havoc has a whole bunch of orbs videos. And I actually worked with them on designing an experiment. So I might continue that experiment on my own, or we might work together. But basically, I guess I could talk about that orb experiment. So Bobby, let me know if you're familiar with this. So, so a lot of times people have an infrared camera, right? So these are cameras that work at night. You don't need any lights. So you can buy them real cheap now. The way they work is they have a little emitter on top of the camera lens, and they shoot out rays of infrared light, which is invisible. And then those lights bounce back and they make an image, a black and white image. Now, a lot of people, including Wreaking Havoc 215, that's his channel name, they get these videos with these crazy circles floating all around and moving. Now, the common idea is that, these are just dust. This is just small insects. And yeah, that sounds fine. But my whole thing is nobody's tested it. Nobody's tested that before that I know of. So I was just going to design a simple experiment. Basically, okay, let's set up our camera and shoot a room that's got a bunch of orbs. I'll also say the orbs, they look awesome, dude. They look fascinating. It looks like life. It looks like under the ocean. And it's invisible to our normal eye. Anyway, so I was like, hey, how about we do a couple experiments? Let's run the cameras and let's run a filter, a very strong air filter, to get all the dust out and see if that affects the orbs. And another thing, which is even easier, let's just run a strong fan in one direction. And if the orbs are interacting with the fan, if they're moving, then hey, that indicates they're probably just dust. But if they're not, what's going on there? So those are some things with those orbs.
I used to do videotape military training back in another job I had, and we had infrared.
Mhm.
So I stared at hours of that. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
So what are your thoughts on infrared video? And did you see anything weird with infrared?
Not with those guys. That was just in a Connex that was black. They were doing training in there. We
Okay.
did do a ghost hunt at the Sorrel Weed House back in 2010 in Savannah, Georgia.
Mhm.
And they have a thing in the bottom. They have a infrared set up, an IR set up in a black room, and it's full of the dust orbs you're talking about. Because everybody walks in, orbs. I'm like, and he's like, it's dust. I'm like, you can tell it's dust, dog.
Yeah.
But my wife, who is sensitive and it's creepy, says she saw a Civil War soldier for 1 second sitting on the couch, and it disappeared. And I immediately decided I wanted to leave. but yeah, I know what orbs you're talking about. Like that's interesting to think about. No one has ever tested that. A giant fan, and then the orbs, they move. Where's my camera? They move. The ones that are not dust, they go.
Right.
But the dust ones.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm sure a lot of them are dust. I'm not saying that there's no dust that makes orbs, of course. But I'm saying I want to just find out which ones are. And Mr. Catfish is asking for a shout out for his family.
What's up, Mr. Catfish? How's it going?
There you go.
I'll do my hand like that, like you wanted
to. Yeah, John P. Adventure says can be pareidolia. Pareidolia is the human tendency to make faces out of things that aren't faces. Or we just, it's an evolutionary trait, We want to be able to see faces because faces can mean danger. But sometimes, as a consequence, we see faces where there are none. So Wreaking Havoc, he's got a lot of videos where he zooms in on the orb and it looks like there's faces there. But yeah, I told him, like, look, if you want to do it scientifically, well, you could just, you need to have repeatability is one of the things. So you need to have whatever phenomenon you're catching, you need to have it consistently over and over again. So I was like, I would recommend you try to get the same face over and over again because that's repeatability. That's one of the things you need for science. The other thing you need is falsifiability. You need to be able to prove something is not what you say it is. So for the orbs, the falsifiability, that's basically what I said about running the fan in a filter. So if you could do that and show that it's not just dust, and then if you could show the faces repeating themselves, then we're on to something there.
Or see one not moving with the fan. That would be intense.
Yeah, that would be something for sure. Angel Wing says, John P. First of all, John P. says not all of them. Yeah, we agree, not all of them are dust. Angel talking to Mr. Catfish says, asked if they know me, and not all are bad and deceivers. I'm sure, right. So she's talking about the Greys. See if they're familiar with her. John P. Adventure says multiple. The Greys are my family. They are on my profile pic. So yeah, this picture right here, you see a Mr. Catfish profile picture. He says that's a UFO. He said that on an early episode, and he's saying it now. And then, yeah, up to 10 dimensions higher. And then Mr. Catfish says, we don't understand the third dimension fully. And then John P. Adventure says, great advice. All right. Okay, so yeah, now we talked about Nope because, that's a great alien movie that just came out. So now we have Prey. So what I thought we could do before we work our way to Prey, we'll save Prey for the end. So there's actually, including Prey, there's 7 movies with predators in them. The Predator Alien. And so what I thought we could do is we could just talk about each one from the one that came out last to the one that came out first. Now, this works out well because chronologically, we're going to go back in time to when Prey takes place, because Prey takes place about 300 years ago. Okay, so let's go ahead and start that. So the last movie that came out in the Predator franchise before Prey was The Predator. So that came out in 2018, directed by a famous director, Shane Black. He directed Iron Man 3. He starred in the original Predator movie. But yeah, directed by Shane Black. And it was written by Fred Decker and Shane Black. And yeah, it stars some people you might know. Keegan-Michael Key, Olivia Munn, Boyd Holbrook, Trevante Rhodes, Jacob Tremblay, Olivia Munn, and Shirley K. Brown. So it's got a good cast. I'll say the cast is good. But I'll let you. I want to hear you first. What do you think about The Predator from 2000?
I'll be honest. I've never seen that one.
Okay.
There's a couple of them I've seen once, and that may be one. But
Okay.
I focused a lot on Predator 1 and 2 in the first AVP.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about because it has Keegan Michael Key in it, and so I'm obviously paying attention. I'll tell you, if it's got him in it, I bet it's worth watching.
Okay. Well, okay. So let me tell you what I think about it. Okay, I saw it, and I guess I'll give a little spoiler. I think it's probably the worst Predator movie.
Imagine
Probably the worst Predator movie. Yeah, it's just
shocker.
the tone. The main thing is the tone and the story. They're just all over the place. It's got some good ideas in there, but the tone and the humor, it's just kind of all over the place, and the ideas don't really gel well together. There's this idea in the movie that like autism is a superpower, and that autism, autism kind of defeats the predator, basically. Uh, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with autism. I'm just saying I don't think they pulled off that. That's a really tricky thing to do, and I don't think they pulled it off all the way. And like I said, the humor was kind of off. It was basically like a misfit set of guys and women working together with the predator, and I just didn't feel like it didn't gel correctly. Now, they also had to reshoot the ending. They had a separate ending. Really? They went ahead and reshot the whole thing. Yeah. And then what else? They had this weird plot thread where like predators have dogs. So they have a type of predator dog. And there's a plot thread where they shoot the predator dog in the head. And then that makes the predator dog like be nice to the humans, and it becomes their friend.
Was it the same predator dogs from Predators? Predator, because he had dogs in that too. He fleshed them out with them.
You're right. I think they look they look different. But that's interesting that they both have predator dogs in them. But anyway, I don't know, if you're really bored and you have low expectations, perhaps watch The Predator from 2018.
I am really kind of a masochist when it comes to bad sequels of good sci-fi. Sci-fi series. Case in point, Tremors. I've seen them all. And dear God, I just want to like find whoever did it and burn their house down within a minute. And whenever it got to the graboids that walked around, end it. You're done. You had your fun. You had Kevin Bacon, Reba McEntire. You won. Why are you trying? Why are you still throwing in the fourth? You're up.
I don't know how many. I think there's 7 movies in that franchise as well.
They just came out with one like 2 years ago.
Yeah. And
Reba McEntire's husband was in like the Antarctic.
Yeah, and it had a Napoleon Dynamite in it. The very last one.
Yeah. Oh God. But I've seen them all and they're awful.
Yeah.
Other than part 2.
Yeah, the first two
part 2 had a little merit.
The first 2 are definitely the best ones. The first one is the very best one, and there's also a series they made for I have it on DVD. I need to watch it.
Part 1's a national treasure.
Yeah,
but
that's
after that. I mean, you got Reba I said it, Reba McEntire making pipe bombs. I'm in. You've won. Just maybe an animated series on Saturday morning cartoons, and that's all you got to do. But
I think that movie's ready. I mean, I think that franchise is ready for a reboot. I think it's primed and ready. Just reboot Tremors. Let's make it good.
What's James Cameron doing now? He's busy. He could do it. He's not doing anything this year. Abyss, but with predators.
So let's go back in time a little bit. So the last movie was 2018. That will go back a whole 8 years to 2010 to the movie Predators.
Watched it last night. Kind of wish I didn't.
Really? Okay,
it started out good, but it kind of ended cheesy.
We'll get to that. Let's see that. Now that was directed by Nimrod Antel. Now Nimrod, a lot of people may make fun of that name, but I believe Nimrod means hunter. Nimrod is I'm not sure what language that is, but it means hunter.
Biblical, isn't it? Nimrod was a great something.
That sounds about right.
He was a great something.
Now it was written by Alex Litvak, Michael Finch, and it had a great cast as well. They had Adrian Brody, Topher Grace, Alicia Braga, Walter Goggins, Olga Taktarov, Lawrence Fishburne, Danny Trejo. Anyway, great cast.
I forgot that Walter Goggins was in it. When that started, I was like, oh shit.
All right, so this is fresh in your mind. Let's hear your hot take. What do you think about Predators from 2010?
I think that they did a good job with the movie as a whole. If it wasn't attached to Predators, it probably would be a good one. It's a good man movie. I just ordered pizza. I have a 6-pack. One of those kind of movies. And if you enjoy Predators, you would enjoy it a little bit. But toward the end, kind of fell apart. But the when it established everybody getting there, kind of like the first episode of Lost, it definitely had a lot of merit then.
Gotcha. So you like the beginning then?
Oh, a lot. I mean,
it's just like a cold open. You just see the people dropping.
But it peters out. It gets Predator can only end one way.
Yeah.
It can only end with the Predator either dying or that's two ways. Either dying or you winning. But it's going to end. You don't have many options.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's just one of the better sequels. Of course, nothing's going to beat Predator. I don't know. This one might be the third or fourth best one. It's up there
in that franchise. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mixed bag of a franchise, right? So it's like, what are you going to do?
I mean, it's up against AVP. I mean, it's got to be, it's easily the third best. With AVP 1, it can compete with it.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Whichever one it was where they came to Earth and allied with the humans. Which one was that? That was a pretty good AVP. But after that, the 2 was like, okay, it's the same movie again.
I remember this movie, The Predators. I remember it has a lot of sick burns. I don't know if you remember this, but like every person, they have sick burns. They have these lines where they're just like burning each other.
Oh yeah,
which I like, and it's gory. It's got it has something that comes back in some other movies where there's multiple types of predators. So you have your regular OG predator and you have your super predator.
Yeah, he had them. They had the new face helmet in Predators. It wasn't just the bone,
right?
It didn't look like a helmet. They had it look like they were wearing like an Oculus, like they were wearing something the Department of Defense would have came out with, instead of just a primitive. Because Predators, like the cool thing about them, they were primitive yet they had technology. That's what I liked about Predators franchise.
Absolutely.
And they had they had the OG Predator tied up, like True Man style, and he couldn't get loose.
Yeah,
and they had all the other aliens. You could see them. Flayed like Ramsey Bolton, flayed them like upside down. Like, oh, there's an alien, but it's not a human.
Right.
You see all the tentacles different. That was pretty cool.
Don't you see one of them running around like a humanoid alien that's not a predator?
Yeah. You see
him just for a little bit.
There's a couple of that in that movie.
Yeah,
a couple things like that. Very interesting. Makes you wonder what's in those boxes, kind of thing.
Yeah. So I like it. I think this one's definitely. It's a strong recommend. I could definitely recommend Predators from 2010. That's a good one. Okay, so we'll go back further in time. Now we're going back 3 more years to Aliens versus Predator Requiem. So this movie was directed by 2 brothers Strauss, Colin Strauss, Greg Strauss, written by Shane Salerno. And what I'll say is interesting about this movie is that it takes place in a town that I've actually been to. So it's supposed to, well, I mean, it wasn't filmed there, but it's supposed to take place in a town called Gunnison, Colorado. And I've actually, I did research in a town called Gothic, Colorado, and it's kind of close to Gunnison, Colorado. So I've been through the streets of Gunnison. It's a beautiful little mountain town. It's really nice there. And something that Gunnison is famous for is that's where Hell's Angels has their, I don't know how often they do it, but whenever they have their reunions or their big parties or conventions, they have it in Gunnison. So one of the years I went to there was 2010. In Gunnison, where Alien versus Predator Requiem takes place. And I remember at the beginning of that summer, I was like 27 years old, this really old like policeman came up to the students. He's a bunch of biologists at this research station in Gothic. And he warns us about 2 things that summer. He's like, there's 2 things you got to be careful with this summer: bears and bikers, the Hell's Angels. And I remember we had a party. All the kids had a party at a cabin, and it was bikers versus bears was a party. And I saw some Hell's Angels. So some of them were driving up the town. The thing is, the town I was at was like super high elevation, and the road just ends there basically. So this one Hell's Angel came up with his woman on the bike, and I was like, oh my God, here he goes. He's one of the Hell's Angels. And I don't even remember what the hell we talked about, but I basically told him, I gave him directions. I was like, yeah, man, there's nothing, that the road is this dead end. There's nothing else to see. So he just drove back down the mountain. But yeah, so anyway, Aliens versus Predator takes place in Gunnison, Colorado.
Could have been killed.
I could have been killed. That could have been the end of me. Are you familiar with this one? Have you seen this one?
it's been a long time. The AVPs, I am very touch and go.
Okay, yeah, me too. I've
They
seen
were
it.
kind of rough.
I've seen it a long time ago. This movie's famous because it's incredibly dark. Like literally, like you can't see anything in the movie. I heard the costumes are actually good because the brother Strauss came from a special effects background, and this movie has a new type of predator, which is an alien predator. So basically, an alien got in the body of a predator, and so when it came out, it's like an alien, but it's got dreadlocks, and um, I don't remember much about it. I'm not sure if it's that memorable of a movie since neither of us
Yeah,
have really.
those two were pretty rough for me. The AVP,
Yeah.
because that was like a '80s things where you mix franchise Freddy versus
Right.
Jason kind of thing, and those things were tough. They were money grabs.
Yeah, there's this comic book called Batman versus Predator.
How'd that work?
I never even read it. I mean, I owned it, but I never read it. So if you go back in time some more, now we're at 2004, and we have the first Aliens versus Predator, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, who also directed Mortal Kombat and all the Resident Evil movies. And let's see, this one was written by Paul W.S. Paul W.S. Anderson, Dan O'Bannon, and Ronald Shusett. Now it starts. I mean, I like the main actress. Her name is Shayna Lathan, and there's some other people here, including Lance Henriksen, who plays Bishop Wayland in the movie. But
Yeah, Bishop was back in that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
but he's apparently the founder of the company, the Wayland Company, in this timeline. I will say right now, I don't think the Alien versus Predator franchise is connected to the Alien franchise or the Predator franchise. I mean, I don't think it's like in like movie universe. You know, like they're just boxed up differently because they kind of contradict each other a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure they didn't have meetings.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd have to disagree that they're not in the same universe, but it's probably because they're kind of tossed together.
Mm.
They could be Cloverfield style and be a screenplay written for something else and just insert twist aliens and predators.
Oh, interesting.
Because you get Wayland, the Wayland Corporation is clearly aliens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
That,
That's true. That's true.
It just feels like it's the same. It's not maybe a one-off bottle episode.
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel like well, obviously, you know, it's the same aliens from the Aliens movies, and it's the same Predator, but it's like the timelines are like it branched off, and it's just like on its own. But that's that's just my own opinion. I'm not sure if that's true. But I was going to say, like with all movie sequels, you know, the way I look at them is like, you know, whenever I watch a movie, I'm like, I'm not actually watching what happened. These are all just like retellings of a real story. So that to me just helps me. Like if there's any like plot holes or things that don't make sense in sequels, I don't think about it so much. I'm like, you know what? Does it, you know, these are just retellings. That's how the director of Mad Max, that's how he views the Mad Max movies. He's like every Mad Max movie I've directed, he says, you know, these are just legends about Mad Max. So if something doesn't match up, it's a different actor or something's different. It's because I'm just retelling legends about Mad Max. This isn't actually like a documentary of what actually happened. And that's kind of how I view a lot of movies. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this one, on Aliens versus Predator?
I think it's that was a good concept.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, it can fishtail a little bit, it being a franchise mixture. But the fact, because wasn't this the one where the alien, not the alien, but the Predator came and allied with the humans to defeat the Predator, the aliens? Was that this one, or am I mixing them up? Like it came and it's like, we're not here to hunt you. We're here because this alien stole our ship or something like that.
Oh, no, I don't think it's this one because although I could be wrong too, but I believe the story for this one is that they go to Antarctica, these scientists, and they find this Mayan temple that's there. And they find out that there's this ritual where the predators go there and they get some slaves or humans and they impregnate them with an alien, like a face hugger. And then they have this ceremony where they hunt the humans. And so I think that's what's going on in this movie. So the predators are there specifically to hunt, to impregnate humans with an alien and then hunt them.
Okay, so I'm thinking of the Requiem then.
I think you're thinking about Requiem.
I'm getting them mixed up. Good Lord. I need to go back.
Yeah.
Jumbled mess in my mind.
Like we said, these aren't the most memorable movies, so that's kind of like
I've got them in the closet behind the TV I'm watching you on, and I still can't remember. I was gonna bring the box set out because it's got a picture of the alien all curled up with a predator head. It's called a battle pack or something.
So overall, Alien versus Predator, it's not that bad. It's very cheesy. I would say if you're in a teenage boy mindset, if you're in your head, you're like, okay, I feel like a teenage boy. I just want to see a bunch of guys in suits, beat the shit out of each other, and I don't really care about the story. Then go crazy with Aliens versus Predator, the first one. You might have a good time.
It's a good set your sleep timer movie.
Interesting.
Set your sleep timer for 60 minutes and take a melatonin. Watch mind-numbing action till you drift off.
I like that. So it's a useful movie.
That's what I do.
Okay, interesting. Does it ever like sink into your dreams? Like the movie. You start dreaming about. You can like hear what's going on still, and it mixes in with your dreams. Does that ever happen to you?
Not so much that, but it's weird when you wake up and something's still on. Like, why was I watching this? And you forget. Because I'll wake up usually about 30, 40 minutes after I go to sleep initially and have to maybe use the restroom or something. And you wake up like, when was I watching that? It happens a lot with comedy specials I'm watching. Wake up and you're watching Whitney Cummings. When did I turn her on?
Oh, that's funny.
It's not nearly as funny. It's not nearly as funny as when you went to sleep. Oh, that's a good show. And you wake up and like, just shut up. Why are you on my TV?
That happens to me a lot too. Yeah, I usually fall asleep listening to YouTube, and sometimes the playlist just starts playing. And who knows? Yeah, I wake up and I'm like, why am I learning about ancient Egypt?
Sleep timer.
Absolutely. All right. So then we go back further in time and we have Predator 2 in 1990, directed by Stephen Hopkins and written by John Thomas. And then it stars Kevin Peter Hall is the Predator, who he was a Predator in the first one as well. The guy in the suit. Danny Glover, of course. Gary Busey.
Danny freaking Glover.
Bill Paxton's in it. Oh my God.
Pretty sure that's a law in the Screen Actors Guild. If you have Danny Glover, you have to have Bill Paxton or Mel Gibson.
Yeah. You have to do it. I saw this movie.
I love this one.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I saw it a lot. My dad had the VHS, so I saw this one a lot over and over. Even though I probably shouldn't have. I don't know how old I was. I was a little kid, but I saw it a lot. It is pretty bloody. I mean, it expands on the Predator lore. Like, I really love this scene. I like the mix of a Predator in this crazy dystopian Los Angeles 1990s. I like when he crashes through some apartment and he's like fixing up his wound. He gets some like glass and he crushes it up and he's like fixing up his like green bloody wound. That was pretty cool.
It was what year did it come out? It was 90, wasn't it? Straight up 1990.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's when Los Angeles was turning into like a battlefield.
Yes, sir.
They really. I wondered what the alternative, because that wasn't the original idea. It couldn't have been. Or how screenplays have different ideas. I wonder what Los Angeles beat to that to be the next thing Predator would see as a place so dystopian he could go hunt someone there.
Right. Yeah, because in the movie, one of the story points is there's just this drug gang going on, gang violence. And so there's a lot of violence going on. So people are killing each other left and right.
I mean, we weren't too far from Rodney King then.
Yeah, in the what was it like? There was like a riots going on around this time as well in Los Angeles.
It opened with like a gang fight, didn't it? I remember somebody being in like an apartment shooting at Danny Glover.
Absolutely.
That was a good one. He ends up on the ship. I can't remember how he ended up on the ship.
Yeah, he ends up on the ship, and then he gets respect by the Predator. Now, I think there might be is there a connection? You don't have to spoil it yet, but is there a connection between the ending of Predator 2 and Prey?
There better be, or I'm going to be really mad.
I think there is one. We'll talk about that.
My notes say there are.
Okay, so I think so.
My notes made me. I started doing this. Like, there it is. There it is. There it is.
I was going to ask you about that.
You little Dutch bastard.
So yeah, overall, it's a good sequel. They went a drastically different direction, which I guess sometimes sequels do it to keep it fresh.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is a good movie.
It's a sequel good enough. It could have been the first one.
Okay, wow,
I'm stepping out there. I think it was. I think that it could have been independent. Either one could have been the first one.
Nice. I like that.
I think it could have been. Maybe if Predator 1's an A minus, Predator 2 is a B plus.
Good.
I'm just saying they're that close.
I mean, yeah, it's a well done movie. The suit is good. The effects are good. The budget looks just as high or possibly higher, so they didn't skimp on anything. So they took it seriously and they pulled it off. Let's catch up on some comments real fast. Let's see.
Danny Glover wasn't cheap back then. Neither was Bill Paxton.
That's true. I wonder how old Danny Glover was back then. Because
did you say Gary Busey?
Yeah, Gary Busey's in it too. Yeah.
Can we say star-studded?
Yeah. Gary Busey's a perfect guy for a Predator movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he's perfect guy to be the Predator. Just scary.
Yeah.
Just place him with the Predator. Just as scary.
Gary Busey versus a Predator, which happens in this movie. Let's see. Oh, and I was going to say Gary Busey's son is in The Predator, and that they're not connected, but Gary Busey has a son that looks a lot like him. He was in Starship Troopers as well.
In Contact.
He was in Contact too. Okay, yeah.
He was the terrorist.
Oh yeah, the bad guy. Gotcha.
Yeah, the guy that blew up the ship.
Let's see. Let's catch up with some comments before we get to the big guns, which is Predator. So then Mr. Caffey says, yeah, the UFO morphed and made that hole in the middle. So he's talking about his little avatar picture. That's a UFO. Angel Wing says, I got to see them all yet. Wanted to see Nope really bad. Now I got to find it elsewhere. It's not in the theater here anymore. Yeah, I think you'll like it, Angel Wings. Some people, when people don't like it, they say that it's a little confusing. And some people I've heard say it's slow. So I'm not sure your personality, but if you don't like slow movies, then perhaps you wouldn't like it. But Mr. Catfish says Dizzle is cool. I agree. I like Dizzle. I'm falling asleep at work right now. I'm sorry, Mr. Catfish.
Obviously not that cool. Dizzle needs to step it up.
We're gonna step it up. We're gonna give you caffeine. We're gonna give you oral ear caffeine.
Wait, what?
Catfish. Nope. Wake up. I'm too bright. You can't sleep with me there. All right, and then let's see. Weekend Havoc's in the house. Thank you for being here, Weekend. We're talking Predator movies.
Hey, Angel Wings, I'm not telling you how to. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if you read it, how to watch movies for free online, you will find Nope very quickly.
Okay, there you go.
Reddit.
There's go to Reddit, type in Reddit, go type how to watch movies online, and you will find Nope.
I'm not gonna tell you the website because I want you to work for it, but I can tell you it's on there, and I've watched Nope a couple of times since just to get a couple of notes. Yeah, just you know how when you'll get a movie that you've seen, just go to the parts like, what the hell is that? I've done that with Nope a time or two. It's not the best copy, but it's a acceptable cam copy. If you got in a room, turn all the lights off and watch it, it'd be fine.
There you go, Angel. We got a tip.
Yep.
All right. So now we'll go all the way back to the year of 1987 with Predator. Just Predator, directed by the legendary director John McTiernan, written by John Thomas and John Thomas. Oh, I think those are the same writers. Okay, so it's the same writers as Predator 2.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And of course, man, the cast. We got Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, all roided out. We got Carl Weathers.
He was. Get to the chopper. Come on, you want to leave?
We got Bill Duke, Jesse Ventura, Sonny Lanham, Michael Chavez, R.G. Armstrong, and Shane Black. So yeah, wow, what can we say about Predator? Insane.
I love how this is gonna call back to Predators with the S. How they just cut straight to the dude with the minigun. They said we're going all in, hand one. We ain't even seen the river, minigun. I was like, good Lord, the minigun's already here. The credits are still going. The dude's got his minigun out. Okay, back to Predator.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, man. I mean, well, first I'll say, you know what's interesting? Have you seen the images of what the Predator looked like originally, his head, before they did the classic Predator head?
Maybe. Was it different?
It did not look good. It kind of looked like It did not look good. It did not look good. So luckily they changed the head. I mean, everything else I think was the same, but the head they went with is kind of insect-like. The mouth, it's got these clickings.
Ooh.
But yeah, the original Predator head looks like a horse kind of. It looks goofy. It looks goofy. So I'm glad.
Oh. Yeah, I'm glad they steered away from that.
But yeah, man, the cast is like just muscles, one-liners. You have Arnold Schwarzenegger. He ends up just being the only one alive. Spoiler alert for Predator.
Spoiler. 1986. Spoiler alert.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a great action movie, and it executes the concept. They actually filmed in the jungle, which is pretty incredible. That adds a lot of authenticity to it.
That's supposed to be Vietnam.
What country was that? You're right. Let me see. What country was that?
Was it a period piece or it take place in the 80s?
I don't think it was a period piece.
I bet it was. I bet it took place in South America then.
Interesting.
Because remember they were the big bad when we were kids.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me look that up. Let me see where, because I think in Predators, Alicia Braga, she mentions the original Predator, and she's like Latin American. Where does Predator?
I just thought about that because I remember 9/11, and before 9/11 happened, the big bads were all the Latinos in all these movies. True Lies.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is what I found. Let's see. It says it takes place in Val Verde. So it says the traditional story is that Predator is predominantly set in Val Verde. For anyone unaware, it's a fictional Central American banana republic.
There we go.
That appears in a few 80s and 90s action movies. Originally invented for Arnold Schwarzenegger's Commando, so it's not to offend any real Central American banana republics. That's interesting.
So it's like the geographical version of Buzz's girlfriend on Home Alone.
Yeah.
Dress a little boy up like a girl.
Oh man, that's funny.
Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof.
I don't really have anything bad to say about Predator. I mean, do you have?
Oh no, Predator's shit hot.
Yeah,
it's up there with Rocky and everything. It's why I wonder why they made 2, because they had it licked.
Absolutely.
I think if 2 hadn't been so good, we wouldn't have had the other ones.
You're right. Yeah,
because they definitely flew close to the sun a time or two with those.
Yeah. It's a simple story, and they executed it perfectly, and it had a lot of new concepts that you hadn't seen before that have since been copied. And there's a lot of callbacks. We're going to start talking about Prey, but yeah, there's a lot of callbacks, particularly to this one. Some of them surprised me. I feel like this is a good thing. I feel like I'm kind of naive, like a child when it comes to movies, because some people watch a movie and they're like they could see everything coming. They could tell when something's going to happen. I don't know why, but I'm like a child. When I watch a movie, I'm always still surprised. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. And that's a good thing. I mean, I want to be surprised when I watch a movie. But that being said, what else can I say about Predator? It's a legendary movie. Watch it if you haven't seen it. But now we're going to go all the way back to the earliest movie. It takes place in the 1700s.
1719 to be exact.
Oh, thank you.
Can't remember the state. I think Wyoming. Don't know why I think Wyoming.
It says like the Northern Plains or something like that.
Okay, that's what it said.
Yeah.
Maybe the Dakotas had the buffalo.
Yeah.
The buffalo.
Exactly. Let me pull up my notes for this one, just a director and everything. Let's see, where do I got these going?
And sidebar, my favorite genre, or one of my favorite genre of movies, is one-off sci-fis.
Mm-hmm.
Think Nope, think Martian, Interstellar.
Mm-hmm.
And so stuff without sequels is fine with me.
Okay.
Just leave me analyzing it. So that's why you see all these things with 17 sequels. Like, you didn't need that. You didn't need that. Avatar, even though it's got one coming out, The Thing.
Right.
The Abyss. Geez, The Abyss. Come on.
You like The Abyss, huh?
Yeah. Let's go back to Prey before I start talking about the rat drinking or breathing water or oxygen.
I heard that was filmed for real. That was like a real, yeah.
And Dan Brown copied it in Inferno. Or The Lost Symbol.
Interesting. We'll have to do an Abyss episode. I could watch it for the first time. I haven't seen it yet.
Might have to go back.
That's an extra.
I'd have to go back to it.
Now, okay. So now, Prey came out. The year of our Lord 2022, and it's directed by Dan Trachtenberg. It's written by Patrick Asen. Story by Patrick Asen and Dan Trachtenberg. It stars Amber Mid Thunder, who plays Naru, the protagonist, great protagonist. Dakota Beavers, who plays Tabe, who is her brother, also a great character. And the Predator itself, the monster, is played by Dane DeLiegro. But yeah, so Dan Trachtenberg directed. I knew him best from 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I thought was I dragged my little sister to it, and I loved that movie. I thought it was really good.
10 Cloverfield Lane, yeah. When John Goodman arrived with cleanly shaven after he killed that one guy, man. Hi, we're on a date. I'm a huge Cloverfield fan too.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Oh, really? Like
even the last one?
Well, if it's in there, I'll defend it. But Paradox is kind of the black sheep of the family.
It is.
But I'll throw fisticuffs for part one. T.J. Miller, come at me.
It's good. No, the first,
I don't know about the second one. I like it because it took the twist in the end. But at first, I was like, just come on, give us a sequel, JJ.
Like a real sequel,
Tell us what happened.
Yeah, that is a good movie. I really like the Cloverfield movie. And then apparently the Cloverfield monster is supposed to be a baby, so it's supposed to make it even bigger.
Well, at the end of Paradox, it had the full-grown one.
That's true.
And it was in the stratosphere.
Yeah, that's true. I need to watch that movie again.
Well, 30 seconds. Paradox is one of those movies where they had a screenplay and they made it Cloverfield. Just like we were talking about earlier. Okay, back to Prey.
All right. So, so Prey came out. Let me see. There's a couple things that I just wanted to mention, and we'll get through all the notes. But I wanted to mention, first of all, the soundtrack. The sound was good. I really like. I was aware of the sound. Because a lot of times in modern movies, I said this already in my note review, but the soundtrack just kind of blends in. You don't even notice it. Soundtracks used to be a character. Like Jaws, Jurassic Park, Star Wars. The soundtrack was a thing. So, and the music here was done by Sarah Schachner. Sorry if I mispronounced her name, Sarah, but I liked the soundtrack. It seemed to have a lot of Native American music influence, and to me, it did its job. I got to say the costumes were really good. I love the costumes. They were dirty, they felt authentic to me, lived in, and that added a lot because it takes place in the 1700s. So the costume designer was Stephanie Porter. So the costumes were great. And then what else did I like? The cinematography. So this takes place in the wilderness of North America. So there's a lot of really good shots of just like waterfalls, of forests, of sunsets. Some of the best scenes are really atmospheric. You got like mist going on. You got different colors, and
so they did a really good job of selling the time period.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Minus the accents.
Oh, okay, we'll talk about that for sure. Now the cinematographer was Jeff Cutter, but yeah, I felt like I like Native American movies. I like movies that take place in this time period, because to me I feel like it's as close as I'm going to get to time travel. If they pull it off really well, then it's like I feel like I'm looking at another world, another time. But now apparently there's a way you could watch the movie. I'm not sure if you know this. There's a way you could watch the movie and there's no English in it. It's all in the Comanche language, and it's got English subtitles in it. Yeah,
I would watch that.
Yeah, because let's hear your complaint about the.
What did I say? That the Indians sounded like the natives sounded like Brad and Mark from Home Improvement.
The kids,
Jeez, Dad, where'd you find the lion over there? And one dude, her brother was a white dude. That dude had no Spanish, no Native American. That guy was white.
Right.
It might have been an Italian. He was white as the driven snow.
Well, I admit he's white in upbringing, but I'm looking at his name. His name is Dakota Beavers.
Yeah. So what, did Dakota Beavers or something?
Yeah, Dakota Beavers. I think he's a Native American, but I think he's just raised.
Great.
He's
Now I'm a
raised.
racist. Now I'm
No,
canceled.
no, 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 no. I get what
Last
you're
day
saying.
of the
No.
Bobby Dizzle.
You're canceled. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. No, no. I mean, the way his inflection. Okay, so look, the movie's supposed to take place in the 1700s. These are all Native Americans, but if you watch the regular version, they're all speaking English, and yeah, their accents are very like colloquial, modern American. They don't sound like Native Americans. But there is a way you can watch it, and it's all in the Comanche language.
That might
And
be
it's got
fun.
English. That's probably how I'll rewatch it. But I
Now,
thought was it.
they
Go ahead.
do kind of save themselves with the whole the Native Americans or English thing when the Frenchman comes to the cage
Yeah.
and all of a sudden he's talking English
Yes.
and she can understand him and she's like, "You speak Comanche?" I'm like, "Okay, you're covering your tracks here."
Right.
They do kind of
Yeah.
they do try to recover from it.
Yeah, that's what's interesting. So yeah, some of the we're going to talk about spoilers right now. So if you haven't seen it, it's hard to not say spoilers. So we're going to do little minor spoilers, not try to give big ones, but eventually we'll probably give large spoilers. But
I
yeah,
was going to say it's going to be hard not to do spoilers.
it's going to be hard. So then, some of the villains are French trappers, and so they speak most of them speak in French, and they're not even subtitled because I had subtitles on, so you never know what they're saying. They're just talking French. The subtitles are in France, so you're not meant to know. You're supposed to be like the main characters, so they don't know what they're saying. We don't know what they're saying. There is one.
And they don't warn you at all that they're about to be Frenched either.
Right.
Like it's and they show up in the woods. Like what the hell? Like, I thought they're about to be British or something. No, these are stone cold Frenchmen.
Yeah, that surprised me too. Yeah,
I
thought they might have been Spanish or English, really, but yeah, the French thing caught me off guard. They were great though. They all looked different, and that main guy, the main bad French guy, he was a great villain. Like you really.
Oh, they did a great job. That was like probably almost like humorous. They're almost funny.
Yeah.
The way they're just going nuts, trying to reload those muzzle loaders, and as quick as they could. I'm like, you're using a flintlock. It's going to take 35 minutes. You never get that thing reloaded. Better Jack Sparrow that shit and have 2 or 3 with you.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay, so the story is basically, it's a good story. There's a good motivation. You like the characters. So basically, this main character is Naru, and she's a young Comanche woman. Okay, now she wants to be a hunter. There's in this culture, in this tribe, in order to become a hunter, you have to go through a test. You're assigned a test. You're like, now you have to. This is your test. You have to hunt this thing. If you hunt it, you're officially a hunter. But because she's a woman and because she's younger, she gets a lot of feedback from everybody. Her brother's pretty supportive, though. Her brother is a really good hunter. His name is Tabe. So her motivation is basically she wants to be a hunter. She doesn't want to be known as just like a medicine. She's good at tracking. She's good at medicine. Those are some of her skills. She understands the herbs, but she wants to be a hunter. So her whole motivation is to show everybody, along with her dog's her helper, that she can be a hunter. And I thought that was a good story. The movie starts fast, and it kind of it had me hooked. I had fun the whole time I was watching, and I was like, this is great. But what did you think about the story? Just the elements of like this character does this, that. What did you think about that?
I think they did a good job of showing what I had something actually wrote about. Really, really appreciated them establishing her as a marksman, quote unquote, with the tomahawk without exposition. What is it when they tell you? Exposition.
Yeah,
they didn't tell you anything. You pretty much had to learn it from watching.
Yeah, it's basically show don't tell. So they showed you she's a good marksman. Nobody was like, hey, you're the best with a tomahawk, Yeah,
and then she's the old lady was like, you're supposed to use that to cut the root vegetable. She goes, almost kill a deer with it a while ago. She's like, what? You're supposed to use that.
Yeah, so her main weapon is she's kind of like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, a little bit. She's got a tomahawk, a little like axe like thing, and then she puts a string on it, so she's able to just get it and retrieve it.
Really strong string, apparently too.
Yeah, it is pretty strong.
Hold herself across. I'm like, how in the world? That's tree bark.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. So you like that part of it. You like that they set up that she's a good marksmanship. What did you think about like some of the complaints, which I don't agree on, are like, this movie's woke. How could a little woman take on the Predator? But I thought it was handled well. It shows you exactly how that could be done, and it's not through physical strength, basically. But what did you think about that element? Do you think it's believable?
Didn't mind that a woman was the main character, but I did get a touch of Force Awakens.
Okay.
Daisy Ridley. I even checked. I wrote this down. Scroll. I even Googled if Kathleen Kennedy had anything to do with it.
Okay.
I swear, I'm like, let's see if she's in here, just because they went really hard. I mean, it went up like you said, woke. It went that direction for a solid 2 or 3 minutes when you're trying to be like, I can do anything I want to do. My dad said I could do this.
Right.
But it came off of it quick too. And I Googled it then. I thought it was going to get a lot worse. It didn't. They really mellowed out. But I said it has huge Force Awakens vibes, trying to just make the female character, but they really didn't harp on it too much after that. But I did Google if Kathleen Kennedy was in there or not.
Now, Kathleen Kennedy is famous because she's the producer of the new Star Wars franchise, which nobody likes.
Yeah.
Which I don't like. They ruined. Look what they did to my boy. They ruined Star Wars with those movies. They massacred my boy. But yeah, there was one line that was a little cringy, where her mother was like, "Why do you want to be a hunter?" And she says, like, "Because nobody thinks I can."
Yeah, right around then is probably where I Googled it.
Yeah, you're like, okay,
but They didn't do a lot with it after that, but they really tried to drive it home real quick and pull off of it real quick.
Right. Okay.
Enough to make my notes.
Gotcha. So the woke meter is what were we at? We're like at a 2, maybe a 2 out of 5.
There's a peak. There's a peak way high at front, and then way down to a 2 or 3 level the rest of the time.
Right.
They really come off of it as quick as they say it. They really come down and just really don't feel that way ever again.
Yeah, because what I like about it is you never. This is what I was like. I didn't want to see this. I didn't want to see her just like going ham, just going wild on the. I didn't want to see her punching a predator, axing it up, or stabbing it over and over again, because that's not unrealistic. Because she probably weighs like 130 pounds, maybe less.
She's little.
She's little, but you don't see that. You don't see that. So I'm glad she actually she uses her brains. It's really her brains that ends up out competing and killing the predator. So one of the spoilers here is that, and I didn't see this coming. Bobby, tell me if you saw this coming. So in the original Predator, it's discovered that Arnold Schwarzenegger finds out that the predator uses heat to detect them. He uses a heat vision. And so he decides to cover himself in mud, and that's how he becomes invisible, because the mud covers his body heat. In this movie, a similar thing happened, and they kept talking about it, but I didn't see it until they actually says it. So she's shown to be like really good with herbs, like medicine. So they mention this like orange flower a lot of times, and she gives it to people that have been hurt by a bear or like a mountain lion. And they always, whenever you take it, they're always like, "Oh, I feel so cold." And she's like, "Well, it stops you. You feel cold, yes, but it stops you from bleeding." And then eventually she learns that the predator can detect heat. So crazily, she takes this herb, and that's how she becomes invisible. Now, did you see that coming? Did you know that's what was going to happen?
The particular scenario, yes. With the flower, no. Until about 10 seconds before, I was like, "Oh, she's going to take the flower."
Okay.
Because they throw the red herring at you in the start of the movie when she got caught in that quicksand bog.
Yes, you're right.
And when they were cutting across that field, at the end, she was running toward that same patch of woods with the quicksand in it before she got in the bear trap.
Right.
And I thought she was about to hit that mud. I thought that was her strategy. But then they don't ever do. So I was like, that's a red herring.
Interesting.
But you see him. You see when the I call him the Dutchman. I don't know why I think he's Dutch, but he was the one that was hiding from the predator with his leg cut off after he took the marigold or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And she sees that he couldn't see her. That's when I was like, that's it. That's how they're going to play that one.
Absolutely. Yeah. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, they hit it well. They hit it well.
I didn't see that coming. Now, since we're talking about the first movie, okay, so they say her brother says the famous line. She says,
"Get to the chopper."
Yeah, he said, "Let's get to the chopper."
Get to the chopper.
Absolutely. He says it after that.
Get to the buffalo.
Get to the buffalo. It's interesting. This was a time when the horses weren't a big deal, because he's like, "I got to get me a horse." So I don't think horses were like, because horses are introduced to North America. They're not from North America. They had to be brought over by the French, I guess, or somebody else. But yeah, the
Spanish brought them. So yeah, if the French were here, that hadn't seen Spanish yet.
Okay. And
that's
so
he's history lesson of the week.
You do like history. So there you go.
I was a history minor, but I'm kind of just in my mind piecing together why they don't, maybe that particular tribe hasn't gotten horses yet.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So you think so? The Spanish had been there, but they hadn't seen him because the horses were there. Interesting.
I would have to Google that. Probably very wrong. There were a couple of what's the
Yeah,
anacronyms?
anachronisms is when something is in a movie when it shouldn't be there in that time period.
See, one thing that popped up that I thought was an anachronism was she picked up the cigar next to the
Right.
buffalo. I
Yes,
thought
sir.
it was a shell casing.
Okay.
I'm like, well, those weren't invented in 1700. Turns out it was a cigar.
Yeah.
But another thing they had the steel trap. The dog. Remember the dog got caught in a trap.
Yes.
That trap is like a modern trap. Somebody bought that at a tractor supply company.
Right.
Before the shoot. That's not the kind they had back then.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too. Yeah, I've used those traps. I've successfully used those traps as an animal trapper.
Like
Yeah,
I used to use those when I was little, trapping possums and stuff. Like it's the same trap.
Yeah.
Still got the barcode on it.
Yeah, they just kind of rusted it up a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's not the kind they had 400 years ago.
Well, that's a good find.
So
yes. So the line he says is he says she's like, I don't think we could kill it. And then her brother says, if it could bleed, we could kill it. So that's a famous line from the first one. Yeah.
Somebody says it.
Somebody says it in one of the movies. Now, okay,
Jesse the body.
The big spoiler I was gonna ask you about was at the end of Predator 2, they have Danny Glover is given an old time revolver not a revolver, old time like gun.
Flintlock pistol, muzzle loader.
So in this movie, a Frenchman in exchange for medicine, this French guy gets his leg cut off by the Predator. In exchange for that medicine, he gives her a gun. Is that the same gun that Danny Glover gives?
It's got to be.
It's got to be, right? Okay.
It's a owl-handled flintlock pistol.
Okay.
I went nuts when that happened.
Awesome.
I'd have to look it up. I'd have to look it up specifically what it looks like, but I think it was way too obvious for it not to be it.
It's got to be it. Okay.
Because he says, take it. Throws it at him.
Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm messing with my comments. I accidentally blocked Wreaking Havoc. Wreaking, I'm so sorry I blocked you. I did not mean to do that.
That's what he gets.
That's what you get for doing nothing at all, sir.
Way to go.
Oh man, how do I unblock you, Wreaking? I'm so sorry, buddy.
30 days.
I was bad. We have this like scammer that keeps coming in offering dating stuff. So I was just trying to block the dated person, but I blocked Wreaking. Okay. But Wreaking, I'll unblock you at some point. I'm so sorry, buddy. So yeah, okay. Any other callbacks that you remember from the movie?
Let's look at my notes.
Yeah, let's see your notes. Let's go over all your notes.
I've
kind of exhausted mine.
We're gonna have fun with this one.
All right, let's hear.
You have to. You'll appreciate this one. The rattlesnake, how they made it where the rattlesnake can see the predator, because the pit vipers. I was wondering if it was too cold for rattlesnakes to be out right then, but I didn't write the movie. I'm but a lowly IT guy. I don't write movies. It's clearly the winter, and there's a rattlesnake. I'm in Alabama. I know how that works. I said the lead hunter had Rufio vibes.
Oh, okay. Rufio from
Rufio.
Oh yeah,
from Hook.
From Hook. Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. The ship atmosphere entry, prehistoric Independence Day vibes.
That's true. That was very good. Yeah, you see the ship coming in, and it camouflages just like the Predator.
She thought it was a Thunderbird.
That was good.
Thought it was a sign. Point. I love it when movies take ancient mythology and show you what it actually was.
Right.
Like Fifth Element, Stargate.
Right.
They show Ra was actually just a little pale kid. Let's see, and she says it's a whitetail. It was 1719. They didn't call them whitetails then. You're an Apache. Okay. I made a note. I said, because I wrote that before it showed the time period. I said, might have met white men that called it that, but then it was a Frenchman. I'm like, well, that just squashes that. I said, what? I must have been sleepy. It said sexual tension with the wild sweet potato looking root veggie. Was a little bit on the nose.
Interesting.
I know you know what I'm talking about. She picked it and just like,
Just like, oh, this shape is it's interesting. Maybe I'll
I
keep
saw
this.
some wheels turn.
Okay. She's like, maybe I'll keep this one to myself.
Yeah, maybe I
We need to
didn't find
share.
any food today. But yeah, that's the most of it. The pistol from part 2, mud scene was a misdirect, and like I just talked about Fifth Element and Stargate, how things really happen via mythology. Unexpected Bigfoot origin story.
Oh, interesting.
With the footprints, they kept going to the
Yeah.
footprints. I'm like, I wonder if that's kind of they're trying to say that this is what Bigfoot was.
Interesting.
Wild man footprints.
Right.
They
Interesting.
definitely wanted you to notice that the footprints were becoming part of the mythology.
Right.
Like right
Yeah.
before your eyes.
And I don't think they do that in the other movies. There's no like footprints in. Yeah.
Why do I think they had boots on? Is that a Mandela?
Probably a Mandela. Yeah, because I can't remember. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because they're halfway naked. These predators.
Yeah, they're basically just wearing like a
loin
suit with like computer stuff on it, like a Batman, like a bat belt,
and like a little loincloth covers the privates.
And he had the bone helmets instead of the black ones.
Yeah, that bone helmet. Now, do you think that helmet was like a different alien species he killed? That's what I kind of got the vibe. You know,
I'm not really sure. It seemed like it's sort of like that, like a turtle shell would be used for something.
Right.
But it seemed like that they were. It seemed like we were looking at Gen 1 predators.
Well, they look different. The face was totally different than the original predators. So what do you think is going on there?
The suit kept glitching out more than they used to.
Right.
Like you'd hit them with a rock and the suit would glitch out.
Right.
Yes, I wonder if this is like the iPhone 1 of the Predator suit that we're seeing.
I think so too. I mean, that would make sense because we're 300 years back. Even the Predator had 300 years of older technology back then.
Because you go forward and watch the new ones, like Predators that I just watched the other day, they didn't glitch out that much. They were invisible the whole time. These, you hit them with a stick, they were glitching out. You could see them.
That's true. That's true.
Bleeding like a sieve too, like a stuck fish. I've never seen bleeding everywhere.
There is a lot of blood, which I like.
Even her face mask at the end was the green blood.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that. So I will say I remember there's a lot of CGI animals in here. There's a CGI snake, CGI deer, CGI bear, CGI wolf.
Best CGI deer I've ever seen, by the way.
Okay.
Best CGI deer. Usually they do it crappy. That's a good CGI deer.
I think they did a good job with the deer because he was kind of far away. There were never any close-ups.
They got the antlers right. They never get the antlers right in Hollywood.
Oh, nice.
Because a lot of times they'll say it's a white-tailed deer and be a mule deer. Mule deer have a spike, have a tine like that on every antler, regardless how many points they have. Clearly not a whitetail.
All right, so it gets a 5 out of 5 for deer representation.
The category of deer representation, Steve Harvey. It goes to Prey. Not Ring 2 that did it completely wrong.
The action scenes were great. Like when I was watching it, I rewound every major action scene. I rewound it like 2 or 3 times to watch it again. So you're gonna get your creative deaths. If you want to see the Predator kill people with his toys and its weapons, you get a lot of it. You get bloody up front, blood spattering everywhere, different weapons and toys going left and right. So
the grizzly bear fight was really awesome.
Which one?
The grizzly bear one.
Oh yeah.
When she was up in that beaver dam.
Yeah.
Man, that was pretty good.
That was good. That's one of the first times you see a full reveal of the Predator because he gets covered in blood basically, and that
very Nope-ish.
That's true.
Well, I actually thought about that. I was like, it's like Nope. It's like the same thing, covered in blood. It's raining blood from the grizzly bear.
Very good. Let's see. So the gore is there. The gore is very good. You see limbs coming off.
Oh yeah, lots of limbs falling off.
Yeah.
She even ties up that big guy and cuts his limb off.
Yeah. If you like limbs coming off, then you see stumps too. You see a lot of stumps with bloody stumps. If you
like Empire Strikes Back, this is your movie.
You got arms, legs. The Predator himself, spoiler alert, he loses an arm and he cuts his own arm off, doesn't he?
Everybody goes full blown Luke on that movie.
Now, when he loses his arm, it's his shield, right? Like she kind of does some move where he actually cuts out his own arm.
Yeah. I'm thinking like against a tree or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Him and his little shield, and he ends up cutting her brother's arm off. Yeah, there's a lot of arms cut off.
Yeah. And then there's that one scene where talking about the traps. I like that one scene where he throws a trap at a French guy's head, and he basically
It
just
snaps it off. A bear trap.
That was pretty good. Oh, man.
It's been a few years since you've seen bear traps used in the movies.
Right.
It's been a long time. They used to be a big trope back in the 70s and 60s.
Mm-hmm.
In pioneer movies like the Clint Eastwood, Josie Wales kind of movies, people always be in bear traps. Jeremiah Johnson.
It's kind of like the quicksand thing. I mean, it's not technically a quicksand in this movie. It's like a bog, but it's still the concept of you getting stuck and almost drowning. They brought that back too. I thought that was pretty good.
Red herring. But it was in there.
But yeah, that was a good misdirect. Yeah,
it bit me hook, line, and sinker. I mean, I bit on that hard. I said, "Oh, they're about to." I said, "I don't know how the movie's going to end." I think they did it on purpose.
Awesome. How would you rate this one then compared to the other ones that you like? Let's say like the ones you've seen, Predator 1, Predator 2. Where would you put it up there? With
if 1 and 2 are 8 and 10, this would be a solid. Maybe 4.5 to 5.
Okay, so like an average.
Yeah, it's an average for a Predator movie. It's low. But as far as an action movie, if you came in and this is a movie you're going to watch, if it was a one-off, probably a little higher.
Interesting. Yeah, I liked it. I think it's got good replayability. The special effects. A lot of times there's like some of the animal CGI I was talking about. I don't know. It's hard. The deer does look good because he's kind of far away. But some of the other animals, it's not bad CGI, but you could obviously tell it's CGI. But that's just the way it is, I guess, with CGI.
We're here in a post Barnum and Bailey world. We're not getting real animals anymore.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, exactly. Just like in Nope. I was like, of course, in Nope, it's funny because in Nope they have to use a CGI chimp. They can't use a real chimp because the whole movie's talking about how it's bad to use real chimps in movies. So of course that chimp was fake. And
you can't take an actual 45 to an actual chimp on TV.
That's true as well.
As scientific as you may want to see what happens, you just can't do it.
But so the CGI was a little ropey, but it's passable. But the CGI and the Predator himself, a lot of it is practical. But of course, there's some shots where the CGI that was great. I think they did a good job.
They really get lucky with the fact their main antagonist is supposed to be invisible. Yeah, I bet that's an animator's dream. Like, you mean all I gotta do is like not have him in the scene? When he's in the scene, done. He's not there the whole time.
You're right. Oh man,
it's kind of the same. This just hit me. Sorry. You remember the Disney movie Chicken Little?
I remember. I remember, but I haven't seen it. But I know what you're talking about. I've seen the previews.
The thing is, there's the spaceship in Chicken Little cloaked itself with these little panels, and it fell off, and that's what hit him in the head. The sky's falling.
Oh.
And if it got damaged, it would glitch like that, and you'd see the spaceship. Okay. So it's almost like the same. Like, I wonder if it's from like the same interstellar technology company, like a Steve Jobs of another galaxy, making the same stuff for like DOD and for the entertainment. And they got to Elon Musk and putting it on his stuff, and you got him. He's contracted out to the Predators DOD, like an intergalactic Lockheed Martin, selling the same technology because it's the same thing with Chicken Little. It's a crossover.
That's crazy. So you're telling me the Chicken Little movie has aliens in it?
Yeah, that's what it's about.
I had no idea. I need to watch that movie.
Dude, Chicken Little goes hard.
Nice. Okay.
I couldn't imagine taking an edible and watching Chicken Little.
So Chicken Little, you're talking about the DreamWorks computer animated movie. It's got aliens in it.
Chicken. The mayor is Don Knotts as a turkey about aliens. I shit you not.
Wow, that's surprising. I'm gonna watch it.
It goes hard on alien technology too. Like it is like Mel Gibson Signs level aliens. It's a kids movie. You're not going to see anybody get killed, but it is it's got some of the same stuff from Predator. It's got the same cloaking technology. It's got the same. I think they even abduct people like on War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. Nice. I think they do that. Yeah, you need to watch it. It's insane to be a kids movie.
Okay, I'll watch it. That's crazy. Okay. So yeah, man. I guess
you said. Are you telling me it's got aliens in it?
Yeah, Chicken Little. I mean, from the title, it makes sense now. That's why
the sky's falling is alien cloaking technology.
Wow. Mind blown.
Yep. Welcome to the Freak Show.
I'm gonna go to Reddit and type in "watch Chicken Little free." I'm watching it.
What if there is a 3? Yeah, well, I can send you the website to do it, but also anybody out there who can find me on my Facebook or YouTube and sends a comment, I will give you the website as well. I'm just not
There you
telling
go.
you on. I'm just not telling you on here.
There you go.
Angel Eyes.
Angel, if you want to find Bobby Dizzle on well, you
The
can
Bobby Dizzle podcast on Facebook. Just find me
li-
on there and message me.
the link is in the description.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's
So
right. Ah,
he'll
forget
send you'll be able to watch
Yeah.
Nope, and I'll be able to
Well,
watch Chicken
hook
Little.
you up. I think Chicken Little's on Netflix though. At least Disney Plus. It's a Disney movie now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I think they bought it. I think they bought DreamWorks. Could be lying.
All right.
Could be a complete falsehood. But I know I watched it here on something, and I didn't have to find it.
Nice. Okay. Well, cool, man. So let's see. Yeah, overall, I mean, I like the movie a lot. It's a good Predator movie. It had me, it's only like an hour and a half long. You're going to be in and out. If you just want to watch something fun, some action, some good stuff.
Yeah, let me tell you, if you can, the streaming stuff we got now, if you can get me movies like this every week, I'm watching them. I'm not going to turn them down. That quality, that's perfect quality for a streaming service.
Right. I wonder what the budget is too, because do you think this movie would have done well in theaters? That's another question.
I think it would have had a huge opening weekend.
Okay.
I don't think it would have gone much farther. I didn't see its RT score. I know how my friends will watch this movie.
Okay.
It's not going to get received a lot as far as rewatch.
Interesting.
I really open Reddit, but I think it would have been. I think it would have been a good. I think some fanboys would have went to see it. The Predator's got a following.
It does, and I think this is a good. I don't know if you want to call it a reboot, but I think
it's 93.
There you go.
Turns out I'm wrong.
I think it's a good like a reboot kind of like. I think what they need to do with these franchises like Jurassic Park, Terminator, Aliens, they need to do this. They needed to do a small scale movie.
Oh yeah, it was perfect for a little bite-sized piece of Predator.
Right.
And there's got to be a sequel because how did the Predators get the pistol?
Right. Exactly.
It's another misdirect because I thought she was going to get killed because he's got the pistol.
Right. So she has the pistol now, but at some point the Predators possess the pistol and they end up giving it to Danny Glover. So
yeah,
how does that happen?
If you beat a Predator, you got a prize, and she didn't get a prize. So there's got to be another movie.
Maybe she gives it to. Maybe she gives it to the Predator. I don't know.
Does Arnold get a prize in part 1? Now I can't remember that.
I don't think so.
Don't you get a prize? I feel like I'm all over the place.
I'm trying to find the budget too for this movie. Let's see.
It's got an 81% audience score, but 93 from critics. That's about right. I can see 80 all day.
Let's see. It says Prey. Here's an article I'm reading about Prey. It says something about it being historically accurate. Let's see. So this is from the website comicyears.com. It says Prey Predator prequel film is historically accurate. Let's see.
I would say so. One of the guys' name is Black Antelope.
Very good.
Maybe I just see white people. I don't know. I swear to God, the one dude was white. Like, hey guys, I see a lion. Get your tomahawk.
Interesting.
Rufio dude was killing me. They got in a fight.
Which one was Rufio? Okay, so not the brother, right? The guy.
He was like the main guy in the hunting party that they got in a fight with.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's clearly Rufio. It's the same hair. Like an homage to Hook right here.
I like that. When you first see her brother, I like that half white makeup he's got on. That was really good. Yeah. Very cool. All right. Well, I think everybody's talking about how Mr. Catfish is sleepy, so how he needs to get some sleep. So, Mr. Catfish, drive safely, get some sleep. But yeah, man, I don't know. Oh, go ahead.
I feel like these comments are just another show in himself. No one's watching the actual thing.
Yeah, they've diverged. I was trying to like maybe displace them, but they've completely diverged, and I was like, okay, that's fine. You guys have fun.
I follow this show. It's out of Birmingham called Rick and Bubba. They've been on for years. I've been listening.
Oh, I love Rick and Bubba. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And they're into UFOs too.
You see this? You see this here? Have I showed you this? The Rick and Bubba autograph I have right here.
Oh no, I didn't know you had
one. They what the hell was I going to say? They're on YouTube and they have like just like the comments here, they're called tubers.
Okay.
And the tubers meet each other like once a month outside the
Oh.
studio, and they have the conversations not even related to the show. They just go off these things like well, what were the tubers talking about? Holy crap, what's going on in there? Start policing your own.
Oh man.
Yeah, Rick and Bubba are a huge influence of mine.
Oh, good. Yeah, they're super entertaining. Yeah, they had. Did you see it? I'm sure you've seen it, but I love their episode with Calvin Parker from the Pascagoula abduction. They did.
Oh yeah. What about their well, the radio show is different than their podcast.
Oh, it is. Okay. I watched them on YouTube. So which one is that? Is that their podcast or the radio show?
Well, the one that's Rick and Bubba University, the one with Calvin Parker.
Yeah, that one.
That's called Rick and Bubba University, a podcast. But they have a show for 4 hours a day.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. That's one you need to get on. They're on TuneIn app.
Okay.
They're on YouTube too. Same channel, I think. But they also had Travis Taylor on that Rick and Bubba University about 3 weeks ago.
Right. I saw that, but I haven't seen that episode. But yeah.
Oh, it is glorious. I've watched it 3 or 4 times.
What do you think about? Yeah. So what do you think about that guy? What does he say in that episode? And what is your opinion of that guy? What's his name again?
Travis Taylor.
Travis Taylor, who he's a PhD scientist. I believe he's got multiple PhDs, and he's on the show The Legend of Skinwalker, or no, Skinwalker. Mm-hmm. What is it called? The show's called Skinwalker.
It's the Skinwalker Ranch. Secret of Skinwalker, I think.
The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. So tell me about that episode, and what do you think about?
He's legit. I know people that know him. Like,
okay,
his company works in my building. Okay. Like he's the real. He's not a charlatan, if you say, but. They used to have a show on National Geographic, kind of a MythBusters takeoff. It's called Rocket City Rednecks.
Oh, nice.
And they would build all this stuff out of, stuff you'd have on a farm, like mech suits and stuff. They built a submarine out of a feeder. But yeah, nice. Travis Taylor's legit. Like one of my friends knows him. One of my best friends, the best man at my wedding, works in the same building with him. And he says he said they can't keep cameramen. He said he won't let his daughter go out there.
Interesting.
He said, that's one of the things that got to me. Won't let his daughter go, and they can't keep cameramen because they keep getting freaked out.
Wow. Yeah, those are very telling things. Yeah.
As far as that episode goes, you need to watch it. I'm not even going to spoil it for you.
Okay.
You'll really like it. He talks about one thing I'll say. He talks about that got me is they were shooting the anomaly with a star chart on a phone.
Yes, sir.
And trying to shoot the anomaly and see what planet was behind it, what star. And when they got near that anomaly with the star chart, it got removed from the database of the app. Like whatever energy is happening has enough intelligence to get into a device and remove something from its database.
Yeah,
live. Yeah, it's insane. You have to watch it to see what it is.
Interesting. And have you kept up with that show? Have you been watching the latest seasons? I think they're at season 2. They just finished season 2.
Yeah, I'm caught up with Skinwalker. Season 3 is on a sling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've caught up. It's kind of crazy because nothing works around that anomaly.
Right.
I don't know how close how much you know about it, but they got the triangle that they go to. It's like a half-acre spot right below that mesa where everything happens 2,500 feet above it.
Yeah.
And that's like they try to do stuff to that. It just keeps, everything goes haywire.
Interesting. Now, let me ask you this. The thing about Skinwalker Ranch is, yes, it is one ranch in Utah, in the Uinta Basin, but that weird stuff is not confined to that. There's a bunch of cities. So I've been considering going there for like a month and doing some experiments. Would you go there to the not the ranch but to the basin? And
I'd probably visit it for a couple days.
Couple days, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely go check things out if it was a big enough following / budget. I'd like to see it. I'd like to go to the ranch.
Right. Yeah,
I was talking to his buddy, trying to get him on the podcast.
Oh, nice.
I tried to get him on. I almost had him. Then he blew up. Well, no more Travis. Not yet.
Oh. keep at it. I think you'll get it. Yeah.
I had another History Channel guy on from Ancient Aliens.
Oh, nice.
He hired me on at a Army Material Command. His name is Rich Hoffman. If you've seen Ancient Aliens, you've seen him.
Okay.
But he's been on my podcast, and I work with him.
Oh, very good.
Huntsville's full of those fools, man. You probably got actual little grays working with me. You never know.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, man. You've been talking to some people that are in the know, so to say.
And I know people that know people. Like I know, like, I met like VIPs for the military. It's like, man, these people are real.
Right.
Really puts them in perspective.
Interesting. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, and as far as Skinwalker Ranch, like, I feel like I have to. I feel like I have to go. Like, the reason I want to go for a month is I feel like you'd have to go there for. I mean, unless you get real lucky and something happens right away, I feel like I probably have to go there for a while. Like I said, if I went there for a month, maybe one weird thing would happen to me. If I went there for 3 months, maybe 3 weird things would happen to me. But yeah, I do want something weird to happen. Now, I don't have any kids, so that's probably why I don't care. Because apparently these things follow you home. And so, if I had children, I probably wouldn't want them anything in my home. But I'm free.
Mm-hmm.
I'm free, so I don't.
It's
really
interesting
mind.
you say that. Rick and Bubba, they have a Geiger counter. Bubba's kind of an engineer, and
Okay.
they had a Geiger counter sitting on the desk that Bubba brought in just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And when they started talking about Travis Taylor, a week later, that counter clicked up, started going nuts.
Wow.
He goes, the moment you mentioned Travis Taylor, it went from 0 to 20, and it's held there the whole time.
Hey,
that's
pretty nuts.
That's giving me chills right now. Like I want to go, but I'm scared I'll see something. Kind of like Bigfoot. Like I'm scared that if I do the thing where you go in the woods and concentrate with no electronics, what if he shows up? What do I do then? Then I got Bigfoot with no electronics.
Right.
He rips my arms off like a Wookiee. Then what happens?
You got to have the plan. Like, okay, everybody makes a plan so they could get to see him, but they don't have a plan of what do you do once you see him.
I'm just going to trust that fact that he's never killed anybody, and I would have good intentions. I'd have to trust in that.
That's true.
That's what scares me. Like, what if it works? Oh shit! There's a Bigfoot. Only thing I know is a little bit of jujitsu, and it's not going to work on a. It's not going to work on a Bigfoot.
Be careful what you wish for, because you might actually get it.
I'd do it though. It'd be worth it. I can't imagine the pale face I would have after that.
Oh man,
we talked about that. That's one of the episodes we're going to do for my podcast.
What's that?
The gifting.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's my big plan. We're going to talk about that for a while.
Interesting. Good. Yeah. Somebody recommended I do an episode all about gifting. So I want to do it. Now, I talked to somebody recently on a group. Oh, I talked to you about this. So yeah,
Randy.
Randy. So yeah, Randy says they've been gifting Bigfoot for 8 years, peanut butter. They said they've only seen it about, I guess, like 8 times. I don't know. I did the math. So you only see Bigfoot about an average of once a year. So they saw it like 9 times. I think they said they saw it, but they've been working with him 9 years. But yeah, they said it's really interesting because if they leave out peanut butter jars, they can tell it's a bear because it gets all torn up and mangled. But he says Bigfoot, unscrews it, cleans it like it's from a dishwasher, and then he gets the tops and he organizes them in a certain way. And then what really fascinating, he's like, look, I tried doing experiments where I put a dry erase board, I drew myself. Don't do that. They don't like it. I tried giving him dolls, which I had an idea too, but they said they don't like it. I said, why?
Yeah, that was yours. Me here, you there.
Yeah. They don't like that. So I got to think something different. But yeah, apparently anything with eyes, they don't like. But that makes me think, if let's say you're having problems with Bigfoot and you don't want contact with Bigfoot. We're the crazy ones that want contact. But what if you're having too much contact with Bigfoot? Well, what if you draw a big pair of eyes on the side of your house? Or you just put eyes like all over, googly eyes everywhere? Maybe that would be enough. That's a simple, cheap way to prevent Bigfoot infestation is eyes.
Prevent Bigfoot infestation. The one thing that's never happened. We want that to happen now.
Exactly. Let's see. Let's see what Angel has to say about Skinwalker Ranch. She says, Scotty says, Skinwalker Ranch is good. Rockets go off course all the time.
They will go straight up and take a hard right. Right below that anomaly. It's insane.
Angel Wing says, I don't think I could handle going there to Skinwalker Ranch. I could feel all their energy. I'd end up trying to clear the place. Yeah, you'd have that's a big order, but good for you for trying to clear it. But yeah, you'd be busy, I feel like. Faith in yourself, Angel Wing says, and Angel Wing says, faith in your own light within, pure of heart, and it won't hurt you. Yeah, that's true. That's what Bobby was saying about Bigfoot. You have pure intentions, a pure heart, and I think I think animals can sense that kind of stuff. But anyway, I guess we've diverted. But yeah, Bobby, I don't want to keep you any longer on your birthday. Thank you so much. I'm so happy it was a decent movie. I would hate to subject somebody to a horrible movie.
Might be better if it was bad. I'm just saying.
Could
I'm
be if
willing. I'm
it's
willing to
got
do shit post, man.
it's got to cross the line, right? Like if it's gonna be bad, it's got to be super super bad.
I'll
Medi-
roast it. I don't care.
right. But yeah, mediocre is probably the worst thing you could do if you're a movie. Either be really good or be really bad. But if you're gonna just be mediocre, well then I
I did not hit her.
don't know.
Hi, Mark.
Hello, doggy.
Hello, doggy.
Oh, okay. Iwax is here. I'm a sergeant. You're a private. I'm alive. It should be darkness.
I
Very
agree.
nice. Very nice. Thank you for being here, Iwax. Thank you for being here, Angel Wings, Scotty B, Wreaking Havoc. I'm so sorry I blocked you, buddy. That was an accident. I don't know how to unblock you, but I will do it.
Scotty B posting misinformation about COVID getting blocked.
Scotty B, Mr. Catfish, thank you for being here. And thank you everybody who's watching this in the future. If as always, if you want to post a comment, I will always answer all the comments, every comment you guys leave. So thank you for watching this. And then okay, Scotty B says, have a good birthday.
Thanks.
Bobby. Very good. And yeah, once again, the best birthday present you could give Bobby right now is go to his links. All his links are in the description, and go ahead and follow him and watch his show. You know, if you're interested in this episode, he's mentioned some episodes he's done already that are very interesting.
I got some ghost hunts, some UFOs, and more of the same coming up, along with some other random topics.
Bobby, me and Bobby, we talk shop. We talk about podcasting, and we throw around ideas a lot. We're going to help each other out. He's helping me out with this episode. I'm going to gladly be on his show. I enjoy spending time talking with Bobby. So yeah, definitely support all his endeavors, and you get to watch him grow and reach his full potential. For sure.
It's like the Note Monster. Yeah, it's been fun.
Well, thank you so much, Bobby. So yeah, follow everything there. But yeah, take care, everybody, and have a good week. I'll be back on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I think I'll probably finish talking about the ultra-terrestrial paper put out by Hal Puthoff. Hal Puthoff worked in Skinwalker Ranch, but he just put out a paper about ultra-terrestrials. He has a lot of interesting. It's like a research paper about like aliens and how we should proceed with this paranormal research. I'm about halfway done with it, and we'll probably continue reading that on Wednesday. But other than that, I'll say goodbye to everybody, and thank you for watching. And thank you for being here, Bobby. Bye.
You too. See you later.